Why do some perfectly manufactured parts still fail in assembly? In this video, we'll understand why traditional tolerances are outdated, and why learning GD&T is essential for every mechanical engineer. Let's understand tolerance first. Engineering starts with a perfect idea, the blueprint. Here, we have a simple pin and a hole, both drawn to a perfect 10.00 mm. This is the ideal, but making things is hard. Small variations happen. A machine might wear down, or the metal might expand. If we make the pin just 0.01 mm too big and the hole just 0.01 mm too small, the perfect design fails. This is interference, and it can break an assembly. That's why we use tolerance. Tolerance isn't about being perfect. It's about defining the acceptable limits of imperfection. We define how big or small the parts can actually be while still working perfectly. Now, even with slight variations, the parts always fit. Traditional tolerance was useful, but today, it's not enough. Why? Because it only controls size, like length or diameter. But in real manufacturing, size alone doesn't guarantee function. What about position of the hole? What about flatness of the surface? Is the part truly perpendicular? Is the shaft perfectly circular? If these are wrong, even a correctly sized part can fail. That's why traditional tolerance becomes outdated, and GD&T becomes essential. So, what exactly is GD&T? GD&T stands for Geometric Dimensioning and Tolerancing. It is a symbolic engineering language used to define a part's geometry, orientation, form, and location of features. It tells manufacturers exactly how a part should function, not just its size. Why is GD&T important? First, better communication. Second, reduced rejection. Third, proper assembly. Fourth, lower manufacturing cost. And finally, international standardization. In GD&T, the most important tool is the feature control frame, often called the FCF. It is a rectangular box used in engineering drawings to clearly define a geometric tolerance. A feature control frame usually contains three key things. First, the GD&T symbol, which tells what characteristic we are controlling, like position or flatness. Second, the tolerance value, which defines the allowable variation. And third, the datum reference, which tells us the reference surface or axis for measurement. Simply put, the feature control frame tells the manufacturer exactly what to control, how much to allow, and where to measure from. That's why it is called the heart of GD&T. 14 main GD&T symbols. GD&T symbols are commonly grouped into 5 categories. Now 4 form control types of GD&T symbols. 1. Straightness. 2. Flatness. 3. Circularity. 4. Cylindricity. Now 3 orientation control types of GD&T symbols. 1. Parallelism. 2. Perpendicularity. 3. Angularity. Now 3 location control types of GD&T symbols. 1. Position. 2. Concentricity. 3. Symmetry. Now 2 profile control types of GD&T symbols. 1. Profile of a line. 2. Profile of a surface. Now 2 runout control types of GD&T symbols. 1. Circular runout. 2. Total runout. Let's understand GD&T with a real industrial component, a flange. A flange is used to connect pipes, valves, or machine parts. It may look simple, but manufacturing it correctly is critical. Now let's see how GD&T is used inside CAD software. Here I've opened a 2D engineering drawing with AutoCAD. Using the tolerance command, we can directly apply GD&T symbols.